Good morning, folks. It is Sunday, June 30th, 2024. And it is 9:45 a.m. And it is breakfast time. It is time for my ass to knock shit off the table behind me. Let's squeeze in here. Hopefully I'm in screen. God darn it. Whoops. I gotta turn that up some, I think. You know what? Screw it. We're gonna go with this. Alright, folks. Where have I been? What have I been doing? Why have I not been posting? First off, let's take a look at what we got here. This is Sunday breakfast. We want to thank the good Lord for the blessings of being able to have a job, to work hard, to get our money, to live in a country where so many people work together to provide this wonderful food and products to us. I know in all these other countries you have the same thing. Very often you have a local farm or a local, people down the street. You have a local farmer's market where the food is made locally. You're very blessed. And you love those people who do that for you. Anyway, so let's take a look at what we got here. First off, if I got eggs, I got Melinda's, okay? Melinda's hot sauce, best hot sauce in the world. Secondly, what do we got here? What is it? It's a beer! It's a beer! No, it is, but it's a no alcohol beer. It's a beer beverage. This is Stella Artois. It's called Liberté. It is no alcohol, okay? And I just felt like having something a little different while I'm eating my breakfast today. Of course, we got the wonderful Deer Park water. I live off of this stuff. This stuff is amazing. Ice cold, you can see. Damn, it looks good. Got my home tea. Gotta have my green tea. And gotta have my my black tea mixed. Okay? You're gonna see me looking past the screen. I'm watching the Formula One race move on. Max Verstappen's killing everybody as usual. But you never know. You never know. Anyway. So what we got here is fried taters with onions. We have Johnsonville Brats with onions. And I cut them in half and I grilled them in olive oil and onions. I did the onions first. I put them on top of the onions. And then I grilled them in the onions. Then we got 4 eggs. Now I am going towards a low or no carb diet, which means I will not be able to eat these pretty soon. But I had these in my freezer, and I was gonna cook them up. I'm not gonna throw these away. But I had an incident happen yesterday where I went to Walmart and I went to Giant and I just went shopping because it's part of the reason why I haven't posted in a week. Last week, I went to Charlestown and I did something really stupid. Cost myself a lot of money, and it really blew me away how stupid that was. And I did it to myself. And I said, I've got to pull my wings in here, and I've got to figure out what the hell I got to do about this. And it's looking like a gambling addiction, really. So the only way you fix a gambling addiction is you don't gamble. There's no playing games with it. They're really good at getting people to gamble. They're really good. They know exactly where your weaknesses are. They know exactly how to entice you to get that money and put it in the machine. The machines are made by, the way the programming is made in the slot machines is made by psychiatrists. And it's to induce dopamine. You're supposed to get enough excitement that you get a boost of dopamine that you stay on the machine. You get this excitement of, I'm going to win. It looks like the machine's going to win. And you get in this cycle, and what you're doing is you're feeding a drug in your head. And I'm not lecturing anybody. I'm telling you about me. That's the thing about this channel. I'm not going to tell you how to do anything. I'm going to show you what I did, how I screwed up, and maybe you won't screw up. So anyway, after that happened, I came home and I'm so disgusted And I still didn't stop gambling. That was on a Friday. That was like last Friday. Friday night. So Saturday morning, I got up and I got some money out of the bank. And I said, you know what, screw this. I'm going to gamble one last time. So I took out $100, was it? Yeah, it was $100. And I bought, I didn't spend all of it. I bought, I spent $50 on Bank of Million tickets. Now, if you don't know about the Bank of Million in the Virginia lottery, it is a lottery that has, it picks 5 numbers, and there's a 6th wild number. The most you can win on this is $1 million. And but the wild number comes in for some real good winners down the line. So there's an opportunity to win here that's not in the other lotteries. So anyway, I went to 5 different stores in Fredericksburg, and I specifically did not go to any chain. I went to the little mom and pop stores, and I bought 5 tickets each, which was $10. Yeah. So I spent $50, and I won $16. I put the $16 in my pocket, and I just went and bought 2 of those Bank of Million tickets, random, for today. I got one of them right here. It's getting nice and wet underneath my beer. Bank of Million ticket right here, and I got one in my wallet. So I do have 2 Bank of Million tickets. But I just had to get my head back into work, come straight home, come into the house, feed my cat, watch a little YouTube, and go to sleep. And I had to pull my entire, almost stabbed myself in the neck. I just had to bring my whole world in to where I figured this out. And it's real simple. I mean, I got my ground pepper, which I'm going to put on the eggs. But it's real simple. I got to stop gambling on slots. And if I'm going to gamble, I got to limit myself to like 1 or 2 Virginia Lottery wild pick tickets. You know, computer pick tickets. Don't invest any of my time in it because I'm not going to win. And just, you know, forget it. I've gambled for 40 years. I've been going to the track for 40 years. I went to the track with my dad when he was a horse bettor. And my dad, God bless him, he was determined to find a way to make the horses win. He bought all kinds of books. He looked at all kinds of systems. But the number one system that he found that was a winner was become a friend with somebody who takes the horses to the track. Find out who was setting up to make a win, because they would bring a horse from another track that was a really good horse that hadn't been winning, and they bring it down to this track that had less competitive horses, and then that they would try. Now, when you're trying to get a horse to win, you don't want it to be obvious. You want people to bet against you because that raises the payoff on your horse. So it couldn't be obvious. But finding insider information was the best way to win. So anyway, but he never became wealthy from the horses. I mean, he had some good wins. He did do pretty good at poker sometimes with his friends and with people that he knew. He was pretty good at poker. But he was never a gambler-aholic. He was a workaholic. And he never pushed his money the way I pushed my money in the last 2 years. So, anyway, long story short, I got to get my shit together, and I got to stop going. I got to stop playing slots. They're just not a winner. All right, let's see what we got here. These are Johnsonville brats, just plain brats. I buy their jalapeno and cheese brats. Oh my God, they're good. They are really good. And what? All right. That's going to work. Hell yeah. But, damn, it's good. That is really good. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord in heaven. And thank you for teaching Phil how to cook. My mom was an awesome cook, and I used to watch her all the time. My mom, who was a head nurse at a hospital and worked 40, 50-hour weeks, and then came home and took care of 4 kids and a wild man husband. My mom was a hard worker, a wonderful person. Universally loved by everybody who knew her. That hits the spot. That's really good. Now I got bacon and sausage in there, but I just wanted something a little bit different. And I was tempted to get the jalapeno and cheese brats. But as I approach this strategy I have to do now about paying off my bills, I have to start looking at not getting the most expensive thing, not spending my money on ridiculous, not just buying what I want. I can't just buy what I want. You know, that's the thing about a credit card. A credit card is wonderful to convince you that, hey, I want that. And you just take a credit card, ba-bam! All right, we're cool. That was really good. And then as you do that over and over and over again, you build balances that become a real problem. These are hash browns with onions. Damn, it's good. That is good. Woo! You know what? You know what this needs? A little bit of this. So I came home and I was really down about how stupid I was. And I could feel something was coming. I could feel, you know, sometimes you get that feeling of dread, you know. I said, you know, I'm just going to pull my wings in and I'm going to chill. I'm just going to go to work, do my job, come home, feed the cat, make sure I go to sleep and get sleep. Now, also last week, I went and got me some Coors beer, Coors Light. And I drank that, and I felt awful. I mean awful. So I wound up throwing 11 Coors Lights in the trash. Because like some moron, they had, Giant had a sale on 24 packs. So I bought a 24 pack. And in the span of 2 days, I drank 13 of them. So, yeah, I had my fun. But that's a road I don't really necessarily need to go down. And I wanted a beer, but I don't want the alcohol necessarily. So, this Stella no alcohol beer always has a great beer taste and has no alcohol in it. I had 2 of them yesterday, and my feet had not swollen up, and obviously I didn't get drunk. But it gives you the sensation of drinking a beer. It's nice and ice cold. It's tasty. But it does not hurt you, you know? So I came home and I just buckled down, and I was going to and from work, and I was really in a funk. I was in no state of mind to post, to answer questions, or to be talking to anyone on the internet. I just had to get my act together. So that's what I've been doing. And so at the early part of this week, I had a job in Norfolk. I work in Richmond, I had a job in Norfolk. But guess what? They were towing the dolly, the damn bars that hit the bridge in Maryland through the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, and they were bringing it to Norfolk. And that freaked me the heck out. Because my job in Norfolk requires me to go through tunnels and down major interstates that are being worked on, and they're always a nightmare. But the thought of them closing those while I'm trying to get through them, I got my job done, and I moved on over to Suffolk, Virginia, because you can go from Norfolk to Suffolk, and from Suffolk you can come up 460. So that's what I did. So I was coming up 460 back to the warehouse. I was behind a guy that was doing 50, 60, 50, 60. It's a 55 zone. 50, so he just, I was like, dude, pick a speed, please. So I went to pull out on him to pass it. And immediately he sped up. So I sped up. I didn't look at my speedometer. I looked at my rearview mirror. He was way behind me. I was like, what the hell's going on? Because I didn't blow past him. I just accelerated a little bit, right? And I said, what the hell's going on? I looked up. I saw a car coming at me in the left lane, because way 460 is 2 lanes this way, 2 lanes that way, and it's only separated by a double yellow line. It's very, very dangerous. I don't like being in that left lane for any amount of time. It's one of the reasons why I sped up. And I looked up. Road was clear ahead of me. The car in the left lane coming at me was split in between the lanes perfectly. I was like, cool. Then the blue lights came on. And I looked at my speedometer. It was right on 70. I said, oh, man, I bought this. I bought this ticket. So I waved at the police officers, the Virginia State police officer. I waved at him. I went like this. He went past me. And I pulled right off the side of the road. And he turned around and came back. He said, man, you pulled off before I ever turned around. I said, dude, I did this to myself, you know? I mean, he said, you know why I pulled you over? I said, yeah, I was going too fast. And he said, well, let me see your, let me get your license, let me get your registration. And it took a little while to dig the registration out, but I finally found it. Went back to the car. He walked up to me. He says, look, I'm going to have to write you a ticket because it was 70 and a 55. I said, okay. Well, I mean, I bought it. It's my fault, you know. And then he said something to me when he came back with the ticket. He said, sir, thank you so much for not being angry at me for writing the ticket. I said, why should I be angry at you? I did this. I made the stupid mistake here. You're just doing your job. He said, well, anyway, I do appreciate you not being nasty to me. And I said, I appreciate what you do, you know? But I did this to me. So, I got me one of these. 70 and a 55. So, anyway, I went down to pay it yesterday. Was it yesterday? Before yesterday. And he hadn't turned it in yet. But I could pay it online, but I'm actually after going to the after going to the courthouse, which is way down in Southern Virginia. It took about an hour from Richmond to get there, but the people there were nice, and the place is very country, and I know if I go there and I pay that ticket and I get my receipt, that it'll get in the system. So I'll probably wait 2 weeks, because the court date's on September 19th, which is 2 months from now. And well, actually, what? June, July, August, September, 3 months from now. So I got lots of time to get another ticket, which I'm not gonna do. I knew how to avoid this. I know how to avoid this. For me, I can't tell you how to drive. For me to avoid a speeding ticket, I have to stay in the right lane. And I have to stay behind people. I have to slow down, and I have to go, I'm saving gas, I'm saving wear on my car. As long as we get there, who gives a shit how slow it is that I get there. That's the only way I can not get a speeding ticket. Because every time I pull out, somebody speeds up. And listen, I'm not an angel, and this was a justified ticket. That police officer did his job, and I appreciate that he was very professional with me. He was not nasty, and he just did his job. So, anyway. So here we are with lunch, or breakfast, lunch, and this is really good. Got a little bit of Melinda's on the name. But like I said, I've just been sort of in a funk, trying to get my act together. And this channel does not exist for views or for subscribers or for money. I'm never going to make money off of YouTube with this. It just exists so you can see what I've been through, what mistakes I've been through, and maybe you can learn something from it and you won't make the same mistakes. But I haven't done the workout in about 5 days. And strange thing about that, I started doing the carnivore diet. I might actually try a little bit of this right now. That's pretty good. So I'm trying to get on this carnivore diet, which this right here, I could never eat on a carnivore diet. As I said before, I've had these in the freezer for about 2 months, and I'm not just going to throw these away. I'll eat them, and we'll get through it. And when I go back to buy food, it'll mostly be meats. And eggs. They say you can eat cheeses too, but I'm having a little trouble with cheeses. Because I don't know what they put in these cheap cheeses, but man, it's interesting. It's not like just milk that's been made into cheese. Anyway, one of the best things about Golden Corral is that if you go during your lunch special, which is about $11, you can eat all the meat they have on the buffet. You can just keep eating meat until you're stuffed and sick. You don't have to eat no potatoes. You don't got to eat no French fries or onion rings or any of those carbohydrates. You can just eat meat. And on Friday, I went to Golden Corral, and I had a piece of pot roast, was that big. I had 2 cheeseburgers, but I took the buns off and put them in the trash plate. I just ate the hamburger with the cheese on it. I had a chicken leg that was fried. It's pretty good. I had, what other meat did I have? Oh, they had hot dogs that were grilled, that were burnt, and they were really good. I think I might have had that pot roast has brown gravy on it, which I'm not going to be one of these people that's oh my God, it's got brown gravy on. I got to scrape all the brown. I got to wipe it with a paper. I'm not going to be that. I'm not going to do that. I'm eating the meat. You know, if it's got a little bit of processing on it, that's fine. I don't care about that. I did, however, use a little bit of steak sauce, which steak sauce has sugar in it, so I kind of broke the rules there. But as the rest of the meal, it was all meat. It was about 3 pounds of meat that I ate at Golden Corral on Friday. So yesterday, I went to Walmart, and I was shopping, and I had to get some Deer Park water because, man, I love this stuff. I really, this is cold. This is the bomb. But Walmart sells this water in 36 packs, and they must weigh at least 45 pounds each. And I have trouble moving those, usually. But yesterday, I moved in things like a young man. And my arms didn't hurt, my muscles didn't hurt. I was like, damn, where's all this strength coming from? And I'm not telling you, I'm a strong He-Man guy. I'm just saying that trying to move normal things for me, is kind of painful sometimes. And yesterday it wasn't painful. I was very surprised. And I got those 36 packs in the house, and I stacked them up and didn't have any motion or moving problems with my arms, because normally my hands hurt, my arms hurt. And I can still use them, but they just hurt. But they didn't hurt yesterday. And I gotta believe that that's because of the less amount of carbohydrates I've been eating. Now this right here, I'm going to pay a price for this. I'm going to pay a price for these potatoes. But I know that. Same thing with this right here. I looked at this, and even though this is a non-alcoholic beer, it has a lot of carbohydrates in it. But I'm heading towards carnivore diet. They say you can eat eggs. They say you can eat meat. And that's pretty much it. You can eat chicken, fish, anything that's alive, and they recommend that you get meats that are well treated, from animals that are well treated, not from mills, not from. That's why chicken's such a problem, because nobody free range raises chickens unless they put it on the package. Places like Purdue Chicken with their factories, that meat is substandard to a free-range chicken raised on a farm. So anyway, so that's where we're at. Look, I apologize for not being available to answer the comments, but man, I've just been in a funk. And like I said, I will always do things that protect my sanity, because your peace of mind is the most important thing you have in your life. It really is. I mean, it is crazy to me the amount of poisons we have in our food that actually can take your peace of mind away. And one of the things that I'm finding out is that carbohydrates like this are bad for you. Now here I am eating it. I'm going to link in this video to an 1.5 hour long video with a nice lady, announcer, and a doctor from a place called, I think it's 5 Minute Body, and it's on YouTube. And they talk for an 1.5 hour about nutrition. And this doctor is a British doctor who worked with the British health system, which is different than the American health system in that doctors are assigned their patients. It's predominantly by who you are around geographically close. But the strength in this system is that you get to see the patients over decades, and you get to see what happens as you treat them. And he's found out that carbohydrates are pretty much poison, and we just eat way too much carbohydrates. And I got a bunch of juices in there in my refrigerator that the only one I'm going to keep, and it's just a thing of mine, I'm going to keep the grapefruit juice, and I'm going to drink that in small doses. All those other juices I got, the Langer juice and the Naked juice, I'm going to pour them out, because this doctor, Dr. Jim Nadez and Dr. Sten Ekberg, all recommend you do not drink juices, because when you eat the fruit, there's fiber in the fruit, and it slows the ingestion of the sugar in your body. And it truly is a life-saving thing that you don't make a smoothie with the fruit, that you don't make a juice with the fruit. You gotta have that fiber when you're eating this, because you're getting a huge dose of sugar. And I was just surprised. So I'm getting there. I'm going to get to that carnivore diet. I'm going to enjoy these. I got another half a bag of these. And then I won't buy them no more. I won't buy no more potatoes. I won't buy no more. I bought last night, or yesterday when I went to Walmart, I bought some sourdough white bread because it was completely fresh. And I made 2 sandwiches, 2 grilled cheese sandwiches last night with it, and I put some garlic powder on it. And it was delicious. But when I got up this morning, both of my hands on the top hurt. My nerves were inflamed. So the bottom line is, there are things that you gotta do related to food that can either save your life or kill your life. And you gotta make those decisions. Now, carbohydrates are everywhere. They're in these potatoes. I mean, carbohydrates, let's see what we got here. Only 1 gram of carbohydrates in this. I'm not going to go through the list here, but you need to investigate it for yourself. Raw sugar is to be avoided. Raw sugar is to be avoided, and anything that's a carbohydrate that can turn to carbohydrates, like pasta. Breads are universally bad for you. They just are. There's no bread that's sold commercially that's any good for you. I'm just telling you. You're better off. I mean, I'm not going to give you nutritional advice. I'm just telling you. For me, I got to get away from breads, and I love bread. I love bread. I absolutely love bread. But it's going to be a life-changing situation here, and I'm looking forward to it. If I can eat meats and I can feel as good using my arms and my muscles as I did yesterday, I hadn't had that kind of pain-free lifting of heavy objects in a lot of years. A lot of years. I mean, I lift heavy objects and they hurt. And it's my muscles that hurt. Now my muscles, and what that people don't understand is that affects your ability to use your muscles. Because your natural, the reason it gives you pain, the reason your body gives you pain is it's saying, hey, stop. This is your limit. But yesterday was amazing. So I'll be heading towards carnivore. As you can see, I'm chowing down on this. I'm going to finish this off camera because I pretty much told you everything's been going on. I do apologize for not posting. I hope you all have been well. I'm okay. Everything's going fine. I just had to figure some shit out. And in the middle of that, I got a speeding ticket. But as I always say, every police officer is just like you are. There's someone doing a job, and they may not come home. They may get killed in the process of doing their job. They may take a bullet for you. So, and every time they come up to a car, they never know who they're going to deal with. So anyway, it wasn't his fault. He was just doing his job. I got stupid. I'm not going to be stupid. I'm going to be in the right lane. I'm going to back off. And I'm not getting no more tickets. I haven't had a ticket in a long time now. People, even the officer said, come to court, I'll put in a good word for you with the judge. But here's the thing with that. Here's the thing you got to understand. Judges don't want to hear my shit, okay? I'm guilty. That's pretty much the end of it. If he's a judge who's got a busy docket, who's got a lot of people who are making him angry, you get to stand there in front of an angry person who's just tired of dealing with people's shit. And it doesn't matter. As soon as I say, here's the key question they ask. Here's the key question the judge says. Mr. Garris, were you guilty of the infraction? Yes, I was. Okay. Pay the court costs, pay the fine, get out of here. So, anyway. I can't in good conscience go in front of a judge guilty and then ask him to not give me, to give me special dispensation. So I'll pay this ticket and I'll move on. And I'm just not going to get in a hurry to get anywhere. And I'll just be in that right lane. I'll be in that right lane and the world can kiss my ass. Anyway, I hope you've had a great week. I had a good week, but I had to get back into the swing of things, and I have. But I didn't want to post, and I didn't want to respond to people unless I was in a good mood, unless I was able to be pleasant, and I just wasn't able to be pleasant this week. So I hope you forgive me, and I hope you realize that everything you do matters. And I realize that everything I do matters. So I got to get my act together, get this house cleaned up, man, because this has been going on 3 years, and it's time to stop hiding in YouTube and looking at videos and going to racetracks and losing thousands of dollars. It's time to get my act together. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, God bless you. Remember, God's right next to you. If you need help, God's right there with you. All you got to say, you don't need anyone's permission to get God's help. All you need to do is say to God, look, I'm having a real bad time. I'm going through some stuff. Could you please help me? And He'll help you. Might not come in the way you think, but He'll help you. So, God bless you. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. And cheers. We'll see you next video.